Hi everyone, thank you so much for watching my videos. Today will be about brushes I'm having a hard time liking or I'm not completely convinced I need in my collection. Remember, everyone has different preferences and sensitivity levels, so take my words with a grain of salt. Also keep in mind that people's skin will change various times throughout their lives and preferences along with it. When I was younger, my skin was oilier and more resilient. I was perfectly fine using brushes that were way less soft compared to what I use now. Last time in my brushes I dislike video, I had mostly eye brushes, and this time it's the other way around, so we got some variety going on here. The first brush I'm going to start off with is the one on the left right here. This is the Koto T1. So I've never made a review video on this or like a haul video because I don't like this brush. This is the least soft Psycho brush in the entire Takumi series in my opinion. It feels considerably rougher than the rest of the Takumi series to me. And I rarely touch brushes that I don't like or aren't soft enough for me, so this has just been sitting around collecting dust. And I can't even use it as a petting brush because it's just like, it feels coarse. It doesn't feel soft to me, but I do like the shape. It's an oval shape that's dense, and even though the hairs are long, it's not floppy, so you can see it has a little bit of a snap. Otherwise, I don't have any issues with both the performance and the shape. I think that if you have more normal or resilient skin, like if you don't have mature or dry skin or sensitive skin, I would recommend this. I've seen reviews online about how soft it is, so ultimately it does come down to your tolerance level. Okay, and if you hear weird noises in the background, a game is being played. So the next one we have is the Koto Z8. I love candlestick shaped brushes, but the hairs are too long on this one. I only like candlestick brushes with wide bodies and a shorter taper at the top, like the Hakuhodo J5521. And I'm trying to show it. Okay, apologies if you can't see the brush head very well. I noticed that if I move all my brushes to the side, the lighting gets significantly worse. So yeah, we're just gonna have to put up with this. When using this brush, it moves in the exact direction you are swiping, so there's this weird back and forth movement on the skin that's not particularly nice feeling to me. And I'm not into highlighting with squirrel hair, so it doesn't cut it for highlighting for me either. And I did try it for blush, bronzer, and finishing powder, so I do like it the most for blush, but it's not an amazing blush brush. Okay, I'm just gonna put this down. And for bronzer in the contour area, it was nothing special. With meteorites, I could get into the jar without any issues, pick up an ample amount of product, and apply it in targeted areas. So I think it does perform well with meteorites. It's just, it takes longer to apply all over your entire face as opposed to one big finishing brush. And so I just can't come to like this brush even though it's soft. The next one we have is the Koto Z8 right here. Like the Z2, I think the Z8 hairs are too long for me. They're also kind of floppy, like you can see this, even though it's dense. So it just doesn't cut it for blush, but it would be very nice for setting powder. If you have dry or sensitive, mature skin, then I would highly recommend this brush for a smaller setting powder brush and finishing powder, like if you're into smaller face brushes. Next we have the Suku Cheek, and I've shown this in my Suku Cheek and my Suku versus Strat comparison video, so I don't think I need to show it that much in this video. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but here goes nothing. Suku Cheek is a brush I've actually never liked. While I like small cheek brushes, I think this is too small. This is in the territory of highlighting brush size to me. And the ferrule is very narrow considering how much it flares out, and it's not dense enough for my liking. I'm not a fan of airy brushes, which I think I would consider this airy. And even after keeping it in a brush guard, which makes it more compact and dense, I just can't come to like it. So I'm gonna put it down now because it's seriously hard to see the brush heads. But I think we're also incompatible due to application techniques and the kinds of blushes that I use. While I have no issues applying the Secret Cheek with Asian blush formulas in a 3-dot patting motion, it doesn't seem to apply the same way with harder pressed and pigmented formulas like Nars. I have this one Nars palette I've shown in a previous video with like 6 colors, 6 or 8, and I used it for 2 very bright colored blushes, and it applied it kind of patchy. So I was just like not a fan of using it with that kind of formula, and I also like sweeping it, but this shape doesn't blend well when it sweeps, for me at least. I think, yeah, so I think the best formula it works with would be Asian blush formulas, and then you dot it across your face 3 times and then blend. Okay, so then we have the Goss 2017 Holiday Brush. I'm gonna try to show you the head first. So it's basically like a broom shape, and it's very airy, floppy, and not dense at all. So because it's so airy and not dense and just very like floppy, it picks up a very small amount of product. Since I have combination skin, it doesn't work for me because I need way more product to be applied, even with finishing powder. Like when I want to look really nice, I'll go into my Hourglass ambient lighting powder or my meteorites like maybe 5 times, like just a lot of times. I'll swipe it a lot of times, and I'll use a dense brush like the Z1 and just go over my skin that many, like a good amount of times, so that I have flawless looking HD skin. But this thing is just not good enough for me, and it is extremely soft, but yeah, it just doesn't suit my skin preferences. And so someone who has very dry, mature skin did tell me that they have 2 of these and that it's their favorite brush. So it just all comes down to skin type and personal preference. Next, we have the Goss 13. This is the new white one. This is the only new undyed Psycho Goss face brush that I own. And as it is as soft as the old tea-dyed version and softer than the Hakuhodo J210. I think this and the J210 are best for setting powder. I don't care for it for blush or contour, and I think it over diffuses blush when buffed, and it actually hurts my face when I used to pat it on. So like if I just dotted it on my face, it like pokes me. So I think it does do a good job at picking up hard-pressed highlights because the head is so dense. It's super dense, and the hairs are short, so it makes it a really good buffer and picks up an ample amount of product. So I'm just not a fan of the hair length and shape combination in all 3 versions I've tried, like the Hakuhodo J210, the old tea-dyed Goss 13, and this new one. I was hoping that the new one would be better and perform better, but when a brush is too dense and the hairs are too short, it just overblends everything for me, and I'm picky. I'm just really picky with brushes in general. So if it over diffuses blush for me, I'm like, nope, I'm out. Anyways, we have the second to last one. This is the Nars Large Brightener. This is such a beautiful brush. It's very, very nicely designed. I think it resembles the Hakuhodo S103, and like the Z2, the Nars's hair length is too long before it gets to the tapered tip. And while this brush is softer than the Takumi T1, it still doesn't cut it for me. This reminds me of, it also reminds me of the Goss 00 White Holiday brush that it's discontinued now, but yeah, that one was, they basically had the same shape as well as the Koto one, but the Goss was the coarsest, and the Nars one is a little bit softer. So the handle is nice and long and weighty. So if you like Nars, then I would recommend it if you don't have sensitive skin. And the last one we have is Tom Ford 13. This is the eyeshadow blending brush. While I love the aesthetic of the Tom Ford handles and the ferrule designs, this blending brush is also not soft enough for my sensitive eyelids, and it doesn't want to focus, but this is how it looks like. I think because the head is too small to focus, but it finally did. Okay. This is the second one I've bought because I thought the first one may have just been a coarser batch of hairs, or like it was just a bad batch, but nope, it's still not soft enough for me. And also this is also the densest gold blending brush I've come across to date, and will overblend quite easily if you're not careful. And I don't know, for some reason I just, when I blend, I'll like blend like kind of vigorously, and I don't want it to overblend, but then okay, whatever, I'm rambling. But I'm on the fence about like most of these brushes, and I do plan on keeping some, but I think I'm gonna have to be parting with like half of them. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.